But do you think that New York and what has been done in this state could be used as a role model for other states that would like to enact something of New York's model?
Well, I hope so. You know, New York is a little different and more progressive in a lot of areas than some other states. And some of the southern areas have cultures that we have to overcome.
We killed tens of thousands of American citizens, maybe hundreds of thousands, with no due process whatever in the Civil War. And it was the right thing to do.
All right, on that note, we are out of time.
You know, you want to discredit a movement, defend the Confederacy. Go ahead.
I guess you guys tried to secede before and you got your ass handed to you, okay? Okay, now you want to get your ass kicked again, okay, you losers. Is that what you want? Okay, and you unpatriotic, un-American people who are traitors to this country, you know, so you were traitors before and we had to kick your ass back in the line. You want to do it again? Okay, now you want to get your ass kicked again, you losers. Is that what you want? But come on, man, to go down, you're in the South and you're going to go down in this ridiculous federal, we're going to neutralize federal laws route again?
Yeah.
Again?
Like you did in the 1950s when Eisenhower sent troops to Mississippi and Arkansas?
Yeah, and by the way, what happened then? Okay, you look like you're a national embarrassment, and because you were, in fact, you were a worldwide embarrassment. You lost, you're going to lose again, you keep losing because you're a loser, and I guess it makes you incredibly bitter. And you say, oh, wow, I don't need the rest of the U.S. Are you kidding me? Without the rest of the U.S., you would be lucky to be Guatemala. You would be thrilled to be in Guatemala's position, okay? Mississippi, come on. Yeah. You are the butt end of the United States of America. And you're going to challenge the head, like, oh, yeah, we got this thing figured out down here. I don't think so, okay?
Welcome back to Hardball. President Obama's convincing re-election has left some of his detractors threatening to leave the country for real, state by state. Right now, 7 states have collected more than 30,000 signatures, each on petitions to secede. As the Washington Post's Dana Milbank put it in a recent column, if Obama were serious about being a good steward of the nation's finances, he'd let them go. Do you hear that? That's because many of those states are part of what Milbank's termed the Confederacy of Takers. Gentlemen, this is an extraordinary thing, but let's talk about this. Professor Peterson, in a recent Daily Beast article, you outlined using maps the line from America in 1859 to America today, where states are petitioning to secede following Obama's reelection. You write, in 1859, the South and a number of Western states were either pro-slavery or open to slavery. This same collection of states was legally open to and or required by statute to be racially segregated. And it just so happens that these are the states that house the largest concentration of Republican voters and the highest number of those citizens that have signed petitions for secession. So these are recidivists, right? These are recidivists. They had a problem with joining the Union, and now they're doing it again. They're back in the same old problem area. They want out, and they really don't have too much thinking going on.
Look, the Southerners are never going to let it go. And, you know, I know that a lot of Southerners have gotten beyond it, and I know that they think, well, look, this is part of our history, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not a positive part of your history. It's like the Germans, and I know everybody flips out over this analogy, but understand, we enslaved millions of people. So comparing it to the Holocaust is not that far off, okay? And if you ask the Germans, they could go one way. They could say, well, that's part of our history. We're proud of it. That's why I hang the Nazi flag, and that's why I celebrate, you know, Gandhi's birthday next to Hitler's birthday. Well, it's part of my heritage. So it's celebrating Robert E. Lee, and he was a great general. I get that, right? It's not the right way to go, because what were his skill set used for? To keep slaves.
And some of the southern areas have cultures that we have to overcome.
Yeah. You are the butt end of the United States of America.
We killed tens of thousands of American citizens, maybe hundreds of thousands, with no due process whatever in the Civil War. And it was the right thing to do.